Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do an update on my All the Books August, what I wound up using, what I wound up loving, and what kind of felt more like a chore to me, and then a flip through of what I'm currently using now. So the books I was using in August were my Personal Wide Campagna, my B6 Appunto with Astrology in it, my Hobonichi Weeks for fitness, and then my Everyday Carry, which is a medium Campagna. Now, I totally adored this. As I explained to you in the last video, I still use this every single day, kind of for exactly the same purpose. My Personal Wide, the only thing that I found was a bit of a chore was coming in it every day to do gratitude affirmations and, tracking how I was feeling. And there was some point that I really loved it, but at this point with so much on my plate, it just feels like a lot. So I think I'm going to take a step back from that for now. I may take this section out completely, but I love having this for a reference, for like a home reference for information like that, and for financial information, and for project planning for videos, because I don't need to go into that every day. So I think I'm going to keep that like that going forward and take out the wellness. And then the things that I want to track every day, I'm going to move into another book, which I will show you. And then my Astrology, which I always have used, or I have been recently using, just to kind of map out the day and what the day will look like and do like a time daily. That I moved into this guy, which is an A5 Appunto, and this is a Hobonichi cousin. So I basically just moved into here for the extra space because I don't know if I told you, I think in my last video that I had to, or I am taking care of my grandmother and taking care of her household as well. So I need a little bit more space to track things like bills for her. She, has a business that I need to help run and keep track of. So the little bit extra space is really helpful right now. And I like having the planned out calendars. And then I am using my medium Campagna still as my everyday carry. So this one will always stay and has stayed as my on the go. I plan out my weeks. So like I'll always do my, my to-dos for the week here. And then each day, things that I need to get done on that specific day, or things that I know I may be able to do on that specific day, I'll put them here. It's like a really rough draft of what the week will look like. And I like having this in a more of a mobile form because a lot of times these things will come up while I'm on the go or when I have my planner with me. And at the moment, I'm not carrying my A5 with me. I'm kind of keeping that at home. And then in my monthly section, because I am taking care of my grandmother's bills as well as myself, I am keeping strictly my bills in here, just so that I have an overview of exactly what's going on for me, and then I have the income from just myself on this as well, which I've always done. But in my cousin, you'll see that I have both my grandmother's and myself in here. So that's all combined, everything together is in this one. And then I've been using the same, my personal section. I can't really show it because obviously it is very personal. I've just been keeping track of, like, I made a printout of my grandmother's doctors, her insurance information. I'll take notes if we're going to a doctor, and things like that, just so I have the reference. And then like a lot of doctors will ask her what medication she's on, so that I have in the back in a personal section and a specific section just for her. So that pretty much has stayed exactly the same. It's my on-the-go planner. I beat the crap out of it. I love this thing, and it's patinaing so nicely. I love how shiny it's getting. And then I recently just got, this is the Rust Appunto, which is kind of surprising when I unboxed it because it's so much lighter. This is my original Rust that I had, and this is the B6 Appunto in Rust, and so much darker. And again, I use this thing to death, so that's probably why. So I'm curious to see if this will get to this, this coloring. But yeah, so in this one, I have it set up very similar to my B6 Appunto, how I had that one. I have just in the front a bunch of business cards that might be relevant for doctors or banks or whatever. And some Virgo and paper stickers, like functional stickers. I haven't decorated it much. I've just kind of dove in. I have some SM Plan sticky notes. These are my favorite sticky notes. I literally have them everywhere now. This is the yearly overview. This is a Virgo and paper kit to just cover over, you know, what was there. I don't know what I'm going to put here yet. I'm just going to see if I think of something. And then how I'm using this page is I got this idea from Bunny Plans, from Joyce from Bunny Plans. She is doing a tracker on each month, which works out really well because I don't have that many things to track, but there are a few things for myself personally and for my grandmother that I do need to keep track of, like when I'm doing them or make sure I'm doing them every day. And basically I highlighted my tasks or my tracking things in orange and hers in gray, just so I can differentiate in my own mind. And then because I got this in, or I started this in late August, I use the rest of these pages as notes pages, or, you know, keep track of lists and things like that. And I just made an index of them. And the way I'm doing it is I'm working from this month backwards for like lists or pertinent information that I might need to refer back to, or it's like an ongoing thing. And then I'm going into like July or from the front back for like random notes that I know that it's literally probably just for that day. And yeah, I have a bunch of notes pages that way. And then for the monthly, I didn't back plan for June and July, but this is how I am doing the months for August and September. So basically I have all of my grandmother's bills here and mine at the bottom there. So I'll literally highlight my bills or things that I need to pay in orange and hers in gray. So that's kind of the ongoing color. I'll keep track of that. I put the monthly to-dos here, which I also have in my medium. So like monthly to-dos for September or whatever. And I like the redundancy just so I can always glance at that. And then if I go into the weekly, same thing how I had it in here. I put my week to-dos on this side, things I want to get done this week, just so I can keep them in mind. And then I love having this as literally just a time daily, basically. I've been using this to just see how my day is going to look, especially because at this moment in my life, things are changing around a little bit and I don't have a set routine every day. So I will mark off spaces of time that I might be doing things or might have appointments so that I can get a clear idea of what my day is going to look like. And at the bottom here is where I've been having the most extra space. And the only thing I could think that I've been doing there is when I have, I do teach lessons, you know, writing lessons. So what I'll do is I'll mark if I had a lesson that day with like a triangle. And then if they paid, I'll fill it in. And if they didn't, I will leave it open. And then I can go back and see who paid, who didn't, because some people pay at a later time. And then this is for the next week. And I'll do literally the same thing. So if I know something's coming up on the following week, I'll put it there. And something maybe that's tentative or it might move around, I'll put on a page flag. So yeah, I love having the option of having a timed daily or a timed, I guess, weekly spread. I don't do so much forward planning on here. I am still doing my forward planning in here on these weekly spreads. It's just easier for me. And then each new week, I will compare what's in here to this. And I'll also obviously then check, like I don't put bills on here. I'll put bills, like my personal bills, in my everyday carry, and then I'll transfer them to the dailies because bills, for instance, don't need a specific time. That's just like a general to do. So this is just to see how my day is going to look, if that makes sense. Yeah, so each day or each week, I'll kind of check if any bills are due and go through it and transfer it where it needs to be. And then if I go, these are the daily pages that I was using as notes. And then these are ones that, like, I obviously didn't have the book then, but I was just making random lists and notes of like favorites, house to-dos, things like that. And then this is where I started. This is the first day I got the book. And these are how my dailies are looking. So I'm just putting just literally lists, things I need to do, errands I need to run, addresses I may need to be at. Then in exactly how was using my B6 just with a little bit of extra space, which is helpful. And it also takes a little bit of the stress away that I do have that timed out section, so I don't need to draw it out. every day if I need it. I have the timed out section that I can go back to if I need to see how my day is going to look. And then I just have a blank big page to write notes. And then in September here, this is the cover page for September. I just put projects that I want to complete and other monthly to-dos that I want to do. Again, redundancy from my everyday carry, but it's just a way that I can keep reminding myself. And yeah, I'll put appointments usually at the top somewhere, to-dos, things to bring, things to remember, and that's it. I've only really been using this, I guess, for like a little over a week. So these are what my daily pages look like. I've been enjoying decorating them and using the Happy Planner kits. But yeah, I've been totally enjoying it. It's a little bit more of a stress relief on me having this extra space. And I do have the Avec. I did order the full cousin. I don't know, I figured I would like it a little chunkier. So I have that on the way for 2020 because I think going forward I will need a little bit extra space. And I feel like I'm cheating on my Stalogy because I only have this much left in it. So I might use this as like a journal when I have a little bit more time, just so that I could fill it up. Because I do love this book and I hope to go back to Stalogy in some capacity in the future. Like I said, maybe as a journal or something like that. But right now, this is my, everyday friend to write notes and all of that. And then this one is my everyday carry. So these two are the ones that I am using on an everyday basis. And then supplementing it with my personal wide when I need to write in reference information. So if anyone has any questions or if you did all the books August, I would love to know how you came out, what you learned from it. I love watching everyone's videos. I'm so happy that so many of you enjoyed doing the challenge and, challenging yourself to use all your planners, because I think that's something we all love to do. But in reality, and in sometimes, like in this moment in my life is a little busier, it did become a little bit of a chore for some, and that's kind of also a really nice reality check in a way to see what I really need in my system and what I want to use and pick up every day and what's actually functional and helpful. So thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.